So we got our Nicaragua's done, our low temp, our high temp, and now last batch for the day. We'll do this high temp Mexico. Now, biggest batch, 24-pound batch, doing that today. So that's the biggest one of the day. And I like that because I do that intentionally with these because, dude, these coffee beans taste like chocolate. When you roast them, when you use a ton of heat on a ton of mass in a big chunk of time, this stuff is just magical chocolate. So, you know what? There's a whole bunch of people who want their coffee to taste like chocolate. I'm like, that's great, man. I got you. You know, and there's some people who want their coffee to be so fruity and light, like lemonade. It's like, dude, we got you. There's all these different ways that coffee gets taste, and that's what's so exciting about it. And when you're doing like the task itself of roasting, you want to know like how do I how do I do it? Like how do I mold this thing to taste like this? At least that was my question, like all the time. And I didn't have anybody to answer the question. Like all the resources that I'm trying to find and the people that I'm trying to talk to don't know it. And they're like, yeah, I don't know like why that's tasting like that. I don't really know what I'm supposed to do, what I can do, or what you should be doing to get those flavors. There wasn't a lot of answers for me. And then like in time, books were written and stuff. But like a lot of those books, I mean, let's just even say like the approach of like steadily decreasing rate of rise. Okay, so we just know we're pushing the coffees the fastest right away, and then from that point forward, it's steadily decreasing. You want to stay at certain ratios of time between all that stuff is good. Okay, totally true. But there's something that's a larger reality sitting over those unique small statements. Is that you're creating a really nice environment, steadily decreasing rate of rise, which result in phases that are this long and in this ratio to each other. Like, how do you do that? Well, you do that by making a really nice environment. Like, you're controlling your flame in a certain way, and blah, blah, blah. All right. So the truth, in my opinion, isn't you have to always have a steadily decreasing rate of rise. The truth isn't you always have to have things that are in this ratio or in this time frame. The truth is make a nice environment. You can let your rate of rise change throughout a roast, like that's okay. What's a larger truth that you want to hold on to as a roaster is make really nice environments for your beans. And different beans like different environments. And different roasts you of one bean are accomplished by creating different environments. So your work as a roaster needs to be like oriented towards creating environments for certain beans which result in flavors that are delicious in a cup of coffee. And that whole skill set is so different than just being like, I have accomplished, I'm so good as a roaster of always creating a steady decrease in rate of rise. It's like, okay, cool, man. But like, I will say this, like for operationally, when that's the goal, let's make consistent coffee, and we're going to follow essentially the same roast profile for all coffees, and the only variable that we're going to really engage with is time, which is a lot of roasting. That task right there is so easy to hand off to somebody. You can hand that task off to anybody who can like move a lever and hit start on a computer screen. Like it's so easy to hand off, which is fine. They are roasting coffee. Yes, your company is making coffee, but like, is it the best coffee that you can make? Is it the best version of the coffee? Is this the best thing you can give to your customers? And I kind of like, no, you know, I think you can do. I think we can do better. And that's where like, so how do you do it better? Let's have my mindset going into this roast be open and be like paying attention to what's happening. Be dialed into the differences and changes, and like know how to maneuver my machine and the variables that I can control once it gets started. And yeah, like when I do something, so you make notes, you log the differences, and then you take a sample of that and you brew it up. I mean, like for us, I brew up coffee every day from batches. The beans, let's say it's a new bean that I don't know well, I'm just gonna cup up a high and a low temp and just like keep drinking it. Um, look back at the roast that I did, taste it. All right, cool. And then I go to the batch, like let's say the next batch I'm roasting that coffee. I'm gonna make a change based on what I tasted, note down what I did, and drink that, and be like, okay, cool. I think I should, like with this coffee I'm working on right now. I'm like, there's tons of acidity, lots of acidity, but acidity is tricky because like just because there is acidity present, which is a very desirable trait. Acidity, it's not like we're talking like, oh, my stomach hurts. We're talking about like bright, shiny, brilliant notes in the coffee that like sit and like dance on top of the body of the cup. Okay, so people, like acidity is amazing, but like acidity isn't all equal. And then like you can have a coffee like the one I'm working with, like the acidity isn't like, ooh, it's this crystalline, perfect, exact acidity that tastes like a white grapefruit. With, it's not like that. It has a lot of acidity, but it's like general acidity in its presence. Well, you got to engage with a general acidity in the cup differently than when you're dealing with a pristine, perfect, singular. Like, there's this one flavor that this acidity is here, and I'm going to do everything I can to bring that out as clear as I can and balance it out with sweetness. That would be like a, a common goal. And then I'm trying to transfer that goal across different masses, across different time, across different applications of heat, because maybe too much heat, I'm losing some of it. Maybe too little of heat, I lost some of it. Maybe stretching out in this area, it doesn't have. So there's all these different approaches, even though that's my one single goal. When you have general acidity, you're kind of like, okay, what am I going to do with this very big block of flavor that's sitting here? What am I going to do with this block of flavor? Experience. It's an experience more than a flavor. It's there. You're like, okay, I have to put this somewhere in the cup. So what am I going to predominate the cup with and have this underpin it? So I want acidity to sit at the top and have the body sit like. So all I can do is take a shot at roasting it in a way that I know is going to taste good, drink it, take notes, go back, take another stab at it, drink that, and you're like, oh yeah, okay, okay. And then like you just sort of like, then you learn a bean. Once you learn a bean, like this Mexico, dude, I've been roasting this coffee from this group of people, year after year for like 10 years. Same farmers, same community, same washed coffee. I've done it on 3 different types of roasters. It's something that's like, I really know this coffee. I feel very comfortable. And like, there are days that I'm roasting this high temp Mexico, different versions of a high temp Mexico batch. I'll do like 6 to 8 batches back, 24 pound. And that's what I know. I'm like, this coffee is so good at 24. Now, do I know how to roast it at 22 pounds or 17 pounds or 10? Yeah, I know how to roast it there. But I know that like 24 pounds, a nice solid push until yellowing, back the flame way off, let everything chill out and stall, and then it just on its own picks back up and pushes through the finish. Dude, land that thing at 420, land it at 424, land it at 425, land it at 428. You are like, that is gold. Dude. People love that stuff. And so that's like the benefit to when you end up learning how to use your machine and your controls and your tools with that, when you come to like learn a coffee itself, a specific coffee, when you know like my customers love this, I know how what I'm trying to bring out in it. Because this coffee at a low temp is a completely different thing The body is totally different. The flavors, it's not like it's like, oh, it's chocolatey, low temp. No, low temp is a completely different thing. And I love it as a low temp. And the body is so phenomenal at a low temp. And so you get to know a coffee and you get to use your tools and take your paintbrush to the easel and make like it's like the same thing that we recognize and know, but you get to make like really beautiful expressions of it. And yeah, dude. Yeah, coffee is always changing. So like even in the bag, like this coffee right here, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in a bag and we're gonna drink it today and then it's gonna taste one way and we're gonna come back tomorrow and we're gonna drink that and it's gonna taste different. We're gonna come back in a week and it's different. In 2 weeks it's different and it's still fresh. It's not like oh it's old and tastes no. You get like weeks of it being fresh and alive and over those this one same batch over 3 weeks, 4 weeks of time is going to completely change every single day. Exactly, exactly. I had this one coffee. It was a Kenya coffee. It was my first real like exposure to Kenyans. I'd had some or whatever, but this one I was roasting all the time. Beans are talking to me. Please open up the airflow. You got it, buddy. I'll open up the airflow. 1045, 350. We're coming up. Not exact. Like we're a little bit. The next thing that's going to happen is first crack, but no, it's like my ears perked up. Like, hey, what's going on? It's saying something, and then I'm like, oh yeah, it's saying open the airflow because now it's taking that ramp up through first crack all the way up to the end. So I love this, man. Like we're sitting at plenty of room for it to increase. We're moving nice and steady up towards our first crack. I got room, the airflow's open, the heat's, everything's great, man. It's so perfect. All right. So, like, you get to learn and know a coffee. You get to learn and know your tools. You still get to, like, make the best versions of batches, but then you're always, like, tweaking and learning, like, how do I make this the best batch that I can possibly make it? And in my mind, like that's the goal. And like even though, yeah, sure, I like having, and our customers really like having variance and expression. We also roast wholesale, and like a household wants different coffees than what a wholesale account wants. And like a wholesale account in general, I would say has the mentality of like saying, hey, we want consistency. I don't want to get some brand new crazy different espresso. I don't want some different espresso every single time. Like I want to have the same thing, and you know, even if I have a wholesale customer who's the most rigid around what it is that they want around consistency, it's just like, dude, that's no problem. It's no problem. I will give you like the best coffee that I can roast every single time around this general concept of what we're looking for. And I will tell you, they as a customer are going to be more happy with that product than if I'm going to the roaster and trying to roast the same exact thing every single time. Because what we know is whether I'm trying to be exactly consistent or I'm trying to make the best batch possible of this version, we know that every batch is different. But the way you navigate a batch when you're trying to make it consistent versus navigating a batch trying to make it the best version of one type, you get different skills and you get different ends, dude. And like that is where the approach of saying coffee roasting is art versus coffee roasting is commodity. Like the framework that you engage with results in totally different skill sets, which result in different products for your customers. And I want all of my customers who, whether they're households who love variance and love difference and want different origins and different processes and different roasts and different expressions, whether it's a household or it's a a wholesale, really rigid wholesale customer was the same thing every single time. She's like, dude, we got you. We can do all of that. Like, and we're gonna do that as people whose brains are on and senses are on. And when I go to roast, man, I am trying to make the best coffee I can. I'm not trying to stamp out the same thing over and over. And I'm telling you, that creates a skill set. It creates a product which is more true to what the thing is of itself. We were talking about consistency. What about the same batch? Is the same batch going to change over time? It's like, yeah, dude, it changes. When I send a wholesale, my rigid wholesale customer who wants the same thing every time, I send them that wholesale bag. I send them that wholesale bag on day one, and they put it in a hopper and grind it. Versus day 7 or day 8, it's different. And that is not just true about my coffee. That's true about all coffee, man. All coffee. Even the most, like, we're going to go to the big old roasters that are like a 4-bag, 3-bag, 4-bag roaster, which, like I said, bigger mass and longer time, we're going to really take out a lot of the variability within the beans, within the cups, right? So we're talking massive roaster, roasting coffee, perfectly matching profiles. Well, guess what, man? That bag on day 1 is going to taste like something. And on day 7 is going to taste like something. Oh, look at this color take on. All right. So we're going to walk this thing right up. Let's turn that. Every pull, the tone is changing here. Look at how, like, the outside is glistening. There's no oils on the outside. We haven't, like, broken the beans, but it's like we are evening out. Woo! 420. Yeah. Roasting coffees are. Yeah, man. All right. That's it. I got to open this shop up in a few minutes. So I got to get to work. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You're all amazing. Peace.